Welcome back to the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Brady Beedon here for another edition of the Locker Room Report brought to you by Henry Ford Health. Here with Tyrone Wheatley, Coach. Let's talk about that Saginaw Valley game. In the first half, I thought your defense played well. Offense really struggled to get going, especially running the ball. What were your overall thoughts on the game after you looked at the film and digested everything?
Well, once again, the biggest thing was, like you say, defense played well, offense did struggle, but at the end of the day, we are circulating with new linemen in. My whole starting five is out, so now you're just playing with these backup guys, and they did pretty good. They did well. They did what they were supposed to do. We got the ball moving in the second half, but you have to get your foot in and get it going. But after watching the game and going through it, like you said, it's not as bad as it was, and it's not as good as you would like it to be. But there are some great things to look at, and when you talk about future and you talk about some good things, like I say, those freshmen that played as the offensive line, they played well.
So you mentioned that you liked what the freshmen did. Who else did you turn on and say thought you had some flashes on the film?
Well, of course, Isaac, receiver Donovan Isaac, he played well. He caught the touchdown pass. He did some great things. And really, one of the big guys that's coming up, that's up and coming, and especially in the backfield, is Sterling Anderson. He's doing really well. He's starting to play well. He got a couple of carries. He got a couple of catches. He looks dynamic and really good.
So, Coach, the offense, it hasn't been clicking the last few weeks. I know some of that is young guys, but the reality is still have to go out on the field and play. Grand Valley doesn't feel bad. Saginaw didn't feel bad. What do you guys need to do to get that uptick a little more and start to hit on a few more plays?
Well, and to be honest with you, and we talked about this, it starts in the quarterback room. The quarterback, everybody who wants to play that game, it comes with responsibility. And heavy is the head that bears the crown, and they have to bear the responsibility. We're just not being really productive there. We're not making the proper decisions, and we're not getting the things that we need from them just on the basic level. And as they get going, they get into the rhythm, but we can't get into a rhythm. We need to start with the rhythm because that rhythm starts in practice, in which they look good in practice, but it's just sometimes they get in the game for whatever reason, they just don't see it as well.
Defensively, in the first half, I thought they held their water really well. They were put in a lot of tough spots, and all things considered, I thought played a pretty good first half. Who were some of the guys that stood out? Because I know, at least for me, there was one guy that shined. I want to know if you saw the same.
Well, of course, I'm always going to start in that linebacker room. You have Williams and Logan, McGraw. Those two guys played. They played lights out. But at the same time, you can't, like you say, can't continue to put them in those spots. But then on the back end, Kelly played well in the back end, and Mr. Wendell, he's showing up every week. Great interception, played the ball really well. Could have had two, but I'm telling you, those guys are playing really well.
Talking with Wayne State head coach Tyrone Wheatley, getting ready for a matchup against the Grand Valley team that's in a very unusual spot. They've lost two in a row. There have not been many times in recent history that Grand Valley has had to bounce back from losing two in a row. What can you tell us about this Laker team? Because obviously it's not the vintage Grand Valley that was winning national titles, but it's still a pretty darn talented team.
Oh, yeah, very talented. Once again, the Hornets' nest has been bothered, right? And they're going to come in looking, after losing two, trying to get back on track and use us as the victim. But one thing they are, once again, they are very talented up front, both offensively and defensively. And then they're very, very, very disciplined. So they're going to come in, play some disciplined ball, try and take advantage of what our weaknesses are, which is a slow starting offense, which we have to counter that with sustaining drives and keeping our defense off the field.
So where have teams been able to take advantage of this Grand Valley team? Saginaw Valley was a lower scoring game, a defensive struggle. Ferris State, a little higher scoring affair. Where have you seen maybe a spot where you think we can get an edge in this department?
Well, one of the things is, like you say, keeping the game low. They're not a quick strike team. They're a progressive, methodical team that moves it down. Now, they can hit it down the field if they want to, but that's not really who they are. They like to run the ball control. So if we can just, once again, play defense through our offense, which a lot of teams have done, keeping the offense off the field.
Coach, a big game. Obviously, Grand Valley comes to town. The lone trophy game Wayne State plays for. What does this game mean for you guys? Obviously, to try to get a win here, but also to get win a trophy, get a rivalry game, and kind of restore maybe some good feeling in this year.
Anytime there's a trophy game, you have to get up for it. And they've dominated this series. I think it was almost 20 straight wins before 2019, and then after that, there's been a 10-year stretch. I mean, not 10 years, but a 5-year stretch after that. So, but then like you said, it's a trophy game. You have to get up for it, right? It's the 3-1-3 versus the 6-1-6, right? So, I mean, I played in a couple trophy games myself.
Right.
You played in a trophy game. You understand what this is. It's bragging rights. It's not only bragging rights. It's hey, this is home, and not only is this home field advantage, it's also senior night. So there's a lot of things that you're playing for, and so we would love to have those clogs.
So, Coach, what are some keys to getting a win over Grand Valley? It'd be a big-time win. They're fighting to stay alive and hoping to make the playoffs at potentially 8-3. You can kind of put a dagger through their season. What do you have to do that?
Well, basically, once again, just go back to what we do. Like, just get in there, play offensive football, sustain the ball, play offense, defense through our offense, and just be physical.
Coach, I appreciate it. Good luck, and I'm hoping you got a new pair of shoes by the end of the night.
Thank you very much.
He's head coach Tyrone Wheatley. I'm Brady Beedon, and you're listening to the Warrior Sports Network.